Wrestling on weed.
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 Wrestling on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
It's time for the Blunt Ratings. If this is your first time tuning in, this is how the Blunt Ratings work. We take each show and break them down into 5 categories: matches, promos and backstage segments, storytelling, commentary, and the crowd. For each category, each show can get up to 5 blunts. The average score of those 5 categories stands as the official Blunt Rating. Those are the rules. Now let's get right into tonight's edition of the Blunt Ratings.
We want the smoke.
Talk to him.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Come on, Charlie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. Grush, stop eating the Popeyes, man. This shit bad for you, man. No, Popeyes hit hard as a motherfucker, man. That shit be too good. That's why I stay away from it. But I got to get up out of here, man, because I am exhausted, man. That weekend in pro wrestling, especially with all the CM Punk news and everything, just wore me out. I didn't sleep much, and I have 1,000 things to do in my real life, and I got to go make real money because, yeah, we don't get paid to do this, but it's so much fun. That's why we here every day, almost every day. Plus, I got to record more videos for the channel, so I got a busy day full of stuff to do, so I'm going to run down this show real quick. I could just go ahead and tell y'all this was the worst episode of the Triple H era as far as Monday Night Raw is concerned. That is after the previous worst episode, which was last week. So we got 2 weeks in a row where it's felt kind of blah, you know what I mean? But it's okay because there's going to be weeks like this. It's just good that most of the things make sense, and we're getting some good wrestling matches. We could be happy about that. That's consistent now, at least we're not hearing about any drama backstage. So it seems like everyone is actually enjoying their job, which makes it a little bit better to watch for us. You know what I mean? So we get right into the show, though. Excuse me. We can get right into the show from the top. They announced that there was going to be a steel cage match. We talked about that when they announced it between Bobby Lashley and The Miz for the United States Championship. They're really trying to make the U.S. title feel like, it's a big deal since Roman's never going to lose his belts. So they got to do what they got to do. Edge made his entrance, came out, did some good acting, talking about Judgment Day and Mysterio. He couldn't believe what Mysterio did. He's known Ray for 20-plus years, blah, blah, blah. Dom got an answer for what he did. So he called out Dom Mysterio. Dom didn't come out, though. Ray came out, and Ray's basically just begging him, like, bro, that's my son. I'm sorry. He didn't mean it. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, blah, blah, blah. Let me talk to it. Edge is still like, nah, fuck that. Where's your son at? Come on out here, Dom. But then Dom comes out with the Judgment Day or whatever. They attack Edge. His son is looking, raised in his son's face outside the ring, like, son, what you doing, man? What's going on? And Dom is just literally looking over him because he towers over his father. So he's literally just looking past him and not acknowledging his presence or whatever. He's like, son. He just walks off like, I can't get through to him. And then Judgment Day goes on to beat up Edge more and more and had a coup de grace with a chair to his knee. And yeah, that was that. We had a match. Bray challenged any member of Judgment Day to a match later in the night, and we got that. We'll talk about that in a minute here. What else happened after that? Oh, after that we had that's when the Miz showed up. And he doesn't want to talk about Dexter Lumis backstage, blah, blah, blah. We saw a car that was flipped over outside. If you heard the news that Braun Strowman was coming back, you probably could have assumed that he did it. So it was either Dexter Lumis or Braun Strowman, and Dexter Lumis ain't flipping no cars over, so whatever. Then we had American Alpha going up against Los Lotharios, going up against New Day, going up against Street Profits for a chance at the Unified Tag Team Championships. Someone help me. Someone help me. Didn't the New Day just get destroyed by the Viking Raiders? Why the hell are the Viking Raiders not in this match and the New Day are? I know wins and losses don't matter because it's pro wrestling, but damn, bruh. Like, it's got to matter a little bit. They literally just destroyed those dudes fair and square in a Viking rules match. I just saw it on Friday. Like, why the hell did the New Day get another shot at a title match? And the Viking Raiders are nowhere near the titles. And they're like one of the few tag teams that you actually been building and giving wins to. That shit didn't make no sense. I was like, the New Day. And I like the New Day. They all went crazy in this match. This match was amazing. Until it wasn't. This match was fire. This is one of the best tag team matches. I was like, oh, they on their AEW right now. You could tell Triple H just took the reins off, and these boys is going out there wilding out. I think Angel Garza, somebody did like a double flip off the top rope, like he did a moonsault and landed and tried to do another moonsault, and on the second one, fucking Chad Gable caught him and hit him with a suplex. There was another spot where I think Gable tried to do some move and Dawkins caught him and threw him into the suplex, or Montez caught him and threw him into Dawkins for the suplex move that they be doing. It was it was a great match, man. It was so much shit going on. Obviously, it was one of those matches where everybody could tag anybody. So with Kofi and Xavier are geniuses, because obviously, if the rules are like that, it's the first thing you should do is try to get in with your partner, and y'all can pin each other. And that's exactly what they did. At one point, they both got in there, and Xavier just laid down like, "Yo, pin me," and then it got broken up by the other people. So it was a good match, man. And then it wasn't. Because you would think that they're doing all this work to build. I swear, I put my hand to God, my hand to the sky. I swear I was watching this match, and I swear the thought was in my brain. I said, yo, this is dope, man. They're focusing on the tag division. Triple H is really, really giving these guys some time to shine. The second that I thought that, Braun, I was like, oh, what? I was like, no, I just gave you all the credit in my head, and then you just did. I was like, what the hell? I felt I had been trolled, and nobody even was hearing my thoughts. It was like, that shit, the timing of that thought, and then hearing Braun Strowman's music hit was hilarious. I was literally in my kitchen watching on the laptop while I was making tacos. Like, oh, man, he giving the tag team division. This is dope, man. They killing it. Braun. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. This is flashbacks. Flashbacks of him destroying the tag team division once again, because that's what he do. He beat up 8 people. He beat up 8 people and slipped on his ass at one point because Chad Gable was like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to just get out the way. He fucking stood up like, what the fuck, man? You were supposed to be there. I was supposed to hit you with my choo-choo train. So soon as he did this, I was like, nope, fire him. Get him out of here. Don't need him. Didn't need that Braun. If that's the Braun you were bringing back, don't need to see him. Get him out of here. Don't need to see it. Don't care. Don't care. Not even a little bit. Sorry. Okay, sports entertainment, I guess. He looks different. He slimmed down. He looks amazing. Like, they didn't need to come back and have him be the same Braun Strowman, but in red jeans instead. Like, they just didn't need to do it. But whatever. He destroyed the entire tag team division. So that's a joke now. It's still the Usos and nobody else. The Viking Raiders, I guess that's why they weren't in the match, so they didn't get destroyed by Braun Strowman. But Braun Strowman shouldn't have been destroying Street Profits in the New Day and the Alpha Academy and Angel and Carrillo. So it just didn't make any sense to me. But it was kind of a wet fart return, in my opinion. The crowd went crazy for it, but to me it was just like, blah. I was kind of annoyed that he just destroyed all the tag teams. Like, he could have just beat up Chad Gable and Otis, beat up the Alpha Academy and keep it moving. You didn't have to destroy the entire division. But whatever. And then what we have after that? We had Aaliyah and Raquel Gonzalez going up against somebody else who just lost the match. How the fuck are they getting title shots? Whatever. I don't even know if this was a title match. I think it's a non-title match, but whatever it was. Nikki and Doudrop went up against Aaliyah and Raquel Gonzalez, and they lost because they wanted to, his match was just to show Raquel do the Chicata bomb to Doudrop. And they showed these ladies fighting each other. It's looking like they're going to be breaking up pretty soon here, which is good. Just keep giving them L's until they get sick of each other and break them up. Let's get it over with. And we had Rey Mysterio being interviewed backstage. That's when he challenged somebody to a match. Any member of Judgment Day. He left out Rhea Ripley, even though she threw him into the steel steps. Cool. Sick of that shit. But what else happened after that? Austin Theory came out and he was like really moving his jaw, like was like really selling his jaw after getting punched in the face by Tyson Fury, which makes sense because that probably hurt. So he came out and he was talking shit. He called Clash at the Castle Crown Jewel. That was clearly an accident, but he sold it really well as him being punched in the jaw is the reason he's a little loopy. It's like, can't even talk right, man. Shut up. The crowd was really on him, so he was distracted and trying to sell. It was a lot, so I ain't gonna be on him. Plus, it was funny. He did a really, really good job of playing to the crowd and not letting the crowd affect him too much. But then he got interrupted by Kevin Owens after talking all this shit, and Kevin Owens came out and ran him down and made some jokes about him having his first name back and not being the hand-picked guy anymore because, Vince ain't around and blah, blah, blah. I think he also took a shot at CM Punk, talking about guys with egos who come and go and shit at one point. But, we saw the tweet that he put up about that whole situation, but you go watch that in the news joint. So him and Kevin Owens set up a match. Kevin is out there to fight at all times. So Kevin's like, man, fuck all this talking. Let's get to it. Ref came out. They had a match, and it was the best thing on the show. So if you're going to watch Monday Night Raw, you can probably fast forward through everything, stop, watch this match, and then turn it off. That's pretty much that was pretty much Monday Night Raw last night. This match was fire, though. Obviously, Kevin is great. Theory is getting really, really good. I've always been a Austin Theory fan. Yeah, I already know that. So I'm happy to see him, he's not getting wins, but I'm happy to see him still being pushed, and still being in the ring with important people, and he didn't get pushed down to the mid-card because that whole Dolph Ziggler situation kind of had me worried for a little bit, but now that he's in the ring feuding with Kevin Owens and potentially Johnny Gargano now, it makes a lot of sense. So Kevin Owens ended up winning after hitting him with a pop-up powerbomb and a stunner. Like I said, really, really good match. Oh, got to talk about this sick bump, though, yo. Oh, my God. I know y'all saw that shit. Why? Why would anyone take that bump, bruh? Kevin Owens outside of the ring. Theory outside of the ring. Kevin Owens is getting his ass beat, right? And this is like one of my darkest fears in pro wrestling, bro. I have like a few like nightmares about watching pro wrestling. I feel like when somebody goes through a table, like somehow something is going to splinter from the table and someone's going to get impaled on live TV. That's one of my biggest fears. I also have a fear of someone falling and landing on the steel steps and hitting one of the edges or the corners and like putting an eye out or like putting a hole in their fucking skull or some shit. And apparently Kevin Owens had these nightmares too and thought it was a good idea to just bring it to life so everyone could see it. Like, I was like, no, this is a terrible idea. But Austin Theory basically took him by the head and rammed his head, like threw him backwards into the steel steps. And it wasn't into the flat part. It was into the steps with the corner. And he didn't do it lightly. He like aggressively like slammed that man's head into the steps, and the back of his head and his neck landed on the edges of the steps. And I was just like, oh no, why? That's not something I need to see. The match is over. Just end it. I don't know how Kevin Owens got up after that. He sold it for a little bit. He sold it. You know what I mean? But then he got dropped on his head when he got right back in the ring. I was like, yo, man, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That bump was so nasty. It's just like, I never want to see that. You know what I mean? The next step for that is somebody hitting their fucking head on the corner of the joint, like, and not the, at least he ain't hit the corner. He still hit like the front of the stairs. But what if somebody, it's just, it's scary, man, scary. But these guys know what they're doing. They're professionals. I ain't their mom or dad. I just, I worry, boys. I worry. You be out there doing crazy stuff. Be careful now. But yeah, after that, Tommaso and Miz were backstage. They were preparing for their match. Obviously, interviewers just keep harassing him about what's going on. He don't want to talk about it. He's having a steel cage match with Bobby, so he can, Ciampa says, so he can. He's smart. He's keeping Dexter away. Blah blah blah. After that, we saw Damage Control walking backstage. Saw Nikki Ash and Doudrop arguing again. Before they went to a break again. Then we saw what we have after that. Oh yeah, that's what Damage Control came out. They came out, and I'm a little worried. I'm a little less worried now, but I was a little worried after they took the L in the tag team championship match. Bayley's great, but sometimes she could be a little cheesy and it could seem a little forced. I definitely think they need to let Dakota talk more. You know what I mean? Let her talk more. But I get it. Bayley's the leader. She's the one who brought him in. I get it. Plus, she looks like the leader of the group. But, they came out and they talked their shit. And, she was bragging about pinning Bianca Belair and bragging about the ladies, getting the win at, at Clash at the Castle or whatever in the 3-on-3 6-woman tag match. And then that's when Bianca Belair came out, and she had nobody by her side, no help, no one was there. So she came out and she talked her shit. She was like, yeah, you got the win, but you needed help to do it, and I still got the belt, and you ain't gonna beat me one-on-one, so none of that shit means shit. And they surrounded her, but then they just left the ring, and then she was like, yeah, I could take that belt anytime because I got help, basically. So that's what it was. And that was that. What we have after that, oh yeah, we had Johnny Gargano. That's when he got interviewed backstage, and he told us that he was going to be fighting next week. He's finally going to have a match because Austin Theory rolled up on him and was talking shit, even though he just keeps getting his ass whooped. But he won't stop running his mouth. So Johnny Gargano, I think he's fighting Austin Theory. I'm not sure. Austin Theory just said, I'm going to have a match next week, but he didn't say who it was going to be against. But I'm assuming it's going to be against Austin Theory, but maybe not because it's his first match in 9 months. And I don't know. They got to start giving Theory some wins. You know what I mean? It's like at some point. So I don't know. But after that, we had Damian Priest accepted Rey Mysterio's challenge, and he needed a bunch of help to beat Rey Mysterio, which made no sense to me because he's twice the size. But hey, it's pro wrestling. Anything's possible. The match really turned when Rey was setting him up for the 619. Damian was beating his ass most of the match, no cap. And then Rey did a reversal and got him in position for the 619. But when he went for it, Dom jumped up on the ring apron to block his dad. While his dad is sitting there looking confused, that's when Damian Priest took advantage of it and hit him with that power bomb that he does. Or that choke slam that he does, excuse me. So yeah, he got the 1, 2, 3. Then they, they didn't beat Rey up after the match because Dom was sitting there. He stood over his pops, and yeah, he walked off together with the Judgment Day. So he's an official member. Rhea Ripley said that she made him a man, so it sounded like she had sex with him. That's how I took it. That's what it sounds like when a woman says she made you a man. It means she gave you the cheeks. You know what I mean? I guess he was a virgin before that, but he's now a man. He's coming to his own. Yeah, he's dressing different, look more confident, had his hair slicked back, looked like he just got some pussy. I ain't gonna lie, as it is. Good for you, Dom. Good for you. The whole wrestling world is happy for you. We're happy your dreams came true. We already seen it live on TV. Yeah, I mean, we just imagined it. Rhea got in the interview and said, yeah, I'll be down. I want to do a match with Dom. You knew what that meant. So I'm glad they took this angle. I'm glad that Dom ended up joining the Judgment Day. I want to see how the interactions, is it going to be like Eddie and China? How are they going to do the interactions between these two? She acts like the guy. in the relationship. She's the more aggressive, loud, outspoken one. So I'm like, yeah, all right, we'll see how this plays out. But definitely gave Dom some edge. This is way better than him being in a tag team with his dad. Way, way better. So the match was decent, but it was more about the angle. So after that, what we have, Braun Strowman got interviewed backstage. He said he's going to be at SmackDown. Anybody can get it. I'm back. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? It was it was just such a wet fart return. I'm still mad he destroyed the tag division. That wasn't cool. I ain't like that. And we got a recap of the Riddle and Rollins shit. They did a whole segment. And, Seth is just like, I'm done with this guy. Leave me alone. And Riddle's like, I could do it again. I want a rematch. Let me get another rematch. And Seth is like, no, I got bigger and better things to do. So leave me alone. But then after that, we had the cage match between Miz and Bobby Lashley for the main event. I'm tired of Miz being in the main event. That was the main thing that I thought. I was like, it's 2022. I understand he's popular in the mainstream and he has Miz and Mrs. I get it. I understand why they put him in the main event. He has a bigger name than Bobby Lashley and a lot of other these pro wrestlers. More people know who the Miz is. 100%. I get it. I 100% get it. But I don't want to see him in the fucking main event of the show. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I know they really trying to push. I remember Meltzer saying it's really the 9 to 10 o'clock hour that's where you'll see the main event of the show. That's probably why we saw Kevin Owens and Austin Theory in that spot. But shit, I'm watching the show till 11, motherfucker. So I want to be. I mean, football season is coming on soon, so I'll be watching it after the game. But still, you know what I mean? Still, damn it. Too much, man. It's too much, man. But this match was cool, man. It was what it was. I honestly don't give a shit about the match. Ciampa just kept trying to interfere. Every time it looked like the Miz was about to get beat and Lashley was about to win, Ciampa would find some way to interfere in the match somehow, even though it was a cage match. But he kept figuring it out. But then when the Miz was finally going to be able to get out, Bobby had the door open, but Miz rammed his head into the cage door a bunch of times, so he, instead of like climbing over Bobby out the door, which would have made way more sense, he decided to walk over this way and climb over the cage. It was so stupid. It was like, bro, the door's open. You just like bludgeon him with the door. Just step over his, his incapacitated carcass and win the match. Why you gotta go climb a fence? You 5 years old or something? You don't have to climb the fence to win the match. Just walk out the door. It's right there, 5 feet away from you. Nah, you know what? I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to climb 10 feet up and 10 feet down. That makes way more sense. Let's go 20 feet. Oh, that was so stupid. But anyways, when he did that, it was clear why he did it, because when he went over there to climb over the cage, he looked down, and Dexter Lumis is halfway out the ring, like just staring at him with that creepy-ass stare. And yeah, Dexter Lumis came from under the ring. Miz is trying to escape the cage, but then Bobby Lashley is up by that point, and he just closes the cage like, nope, you're staying there. So then Dexter Lumis climbed inside the cage and put Miz in that triangle choke and put him to sleep. And then started stroking his hair. And then they showed a clip afterwards I saw on YouTube where Dexter Lumis is kidnapping the Miz again. So he won't want to be talk about it again. That boy gonna need some real therapy. I don't know what's going on with him and Dexter Lumis, but yeah, it's a little weird. And Dexter Lumis is now a comedy act. He started to a comedy act. At first, it was like, is he a psycho killer or is he scary? I guess he's both. He became a comedy act. That's kind of what made him endearing, I guess, to in NXT as well, because he was so funny. You know what I mean? I'm a big Dexter Lumis fan, so. Him and the stuff he was doing, Indy Hartwell, Johnny Gargano, all that stuff was just funny to me. I enjoyed all of it. So, if they're gonna do that and make him that Dexter Lumis on the main roster, cool. You still gotta have some comedy, some sports entertainment in the stuff. I know he's an older wrestler, not older. He's mid-30s, late 30s or whatever. So he's probably down for whatever. For the most part, he looks like he enjoys what he does, and he's getting another opportunity to do it in WWE. And now on the main roster. So hopefully it goes over well. I think I like this kind of comedy. He might be becoming the new R-Truth. And that, because R-Truth did this exact same bit. I remember it, even in one of the reaction videos I did. Remember when somebody pulled the table from under the ring and R-Truth is just on the table, laying there like, what's up, guys? It's kind of a similar bit. You know what I mean? It's a similar bit. So, you know, he's kind of doing those funny R-Truth angle things. So hopefully he's not chasing the 24/7. Hopefully no one is chasing the 24/7 title. But hopefully he's not relegated to just being a comedy act. You know what I mean? They're doing goofy serial killer comedy, whatever you want to call it. But it is what it is. I'll give you all my blunt rating for this mid-ass show. I put 3s on every category. Because that was it. That's all I could do. I could have gave 2.5 blunts for some of the categories, but I was just like, you know what? 3 is mid, even though 2.5 is really the mid. But 3 is you know, still a bronze blunt. It wasn't a shit show by any means, so I didn't want to be too hard on it. But yeah, promos and backstage segments. Kevin Owens is the only one who really cut a good promo. Kevin Owens and Austin Theory were the only ones who really stood out on the mic last night. Matches, Kevin Owens and Austin Theory was really the only match that mattered or was anything. The tag match was good, but then it got destroyed by Braun, which goes into storytelling. That was stupid storytelling. You're trying to build the tag division by destroying it, letting one dude run through it. That didn't make any sense to me. Don't care about the women's tag champs. It's just some stuff still needs to be worked on and tweaked. You know what I mean? And crowd and commentary, I just gave them 3 because the other categories got 3. So the crowd was probably a little bit better than that, and so was commentary. Probably a little bit better. They probably didn't deserve 3 blunts, but that's what I gave them. I'm sticking to it. So it's a bronze blunt. First time I gave out one of those in a few weeks to Monday Night Raw. So it was what it was. Hopefully next Monday will be more entertaining. Hopefully we'll get better, more good matches that end with, you know, actual finishes or not stupid shit like Braun Strowman destroying them. But we'll see, because he's going to be on SmackDown this week and probably going to do something similar. I don't know if he's going to be the next challenger for Roman Reigns. It seems like that would make sense, but what the fuck is Karrion Kross doing? I thought he was the next challenger for Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens is calling out Roman Reigns, and all these people calling out Roman Reigns, they all gonna lose to him. Ain't none of them taking the title off Cody Reigns. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes or somebody, The Rock. Cody Rhodes or The Rock. I guess unless they split the titles, because they can't take both titles off. He needs to keep the Universal title. I would let him keep the Universal title till next WrestleMania. But they got to get the world title off of him like ASAP. Like, they got to do it. Or they could create another title and merge those 2 titles and make it the undisputed title, so he ain't got to carry 2 belts. Then make another title for Raw. They got to do something. But because what they doing with the U.S. title is not making it feel important. The Miz is in the matches. That ain't doing it. You know what I mean? And people always look at that as the mid-card. Always look at that as the mid-card title. You need a world champion on the show. But that's a rant I've done before. I won't be here too long. Look, I'm yawning. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry. I should not be yawning on stream. That is terrible. But I am tired, guys, like exhausted. Look at my eyes. I am beat, but I still got to get some work done, run some errands, be an adult. So talking about pro wrestling was fun, but I need a couple-hour break. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Next stream we'll be unless if there's a bunch of crazy stuff about the CM Punk stuff and everything coming out, then we'll do news tomorrow. If not, probably no news tomorrow, but we will be back for the blunt ratings for Dynamite. 1,000%. You already know we're going to be back for that on Thursday. And I'll be uploading reaction videos for the next couple of days. So enjoy those and hit the sub button, man. We almost at 500, man. Appreciate you guys as always. Your boy, Mr. HD. Follow us at Wrestling on Weed on Twitter and Instagram. See you soon. Deuces.